trees on the other side of the horse meadow as the senator finished shaving. He had decided to run, and he pulled on a comfortable old sweatsuit and a pair of sneakers. He never could adapt to the new running shoes that the kids used, nor did he feel any need for them. He didn't jog, he damn well ran, while most of his peers shuffled across the golf course. It occurred to the senator as he walked through the quiet house, through living room and dining room and pantry, into the kitchen, and then into the garage, that when people slept, the house slept. He marked that as an interesting thought, possibly something that could be worked into a speech one day.
At least sometimes I try to be original.
His two-door Mercedes was in the farthest stall of the four-car garage, and that was good. He could slip off without waking anyone else now at 10 minutes to 6, and that eased the small guilt he felt. Although why he should feel guilt when all he intended was to run 1 mile on the high school track was an interesting question. He refused to probe for what else was on his mind.
Only running, nothing else,
he told himself as he touched the button that raised the garage door.
Only running.
Truth was that he'd almost decided to give up running. In fact, Dr. Gillespie had warned him, "You're pitting your strength against your condition. You're a strong man, football and college and all the other memories of what your body did at that time, but now you're 30 pounds overweight and you run 10 times during the summer and sit on your ass 10 months of the year." It was 6 miles to the high school running track, and after the first mile, the senator had done away with Gillespie and turned his thoughts to the dinner party this evening. Tracy Uman, the third most important hostess in Washington, had once remarked to him that a proper and successful dinner party was a work of art.
It has always been that, as long as civilization has been around. But most hostesses don't give a moment's thought to the dinner party as an art form.
Richard Cromwell had tried to pass that along to his wife one day, and she had responded by snorting that the last person to offer anyone advice on any art form was that vulgar bitch Tracy Uman. At least snorting was the word the senator used when he passed Dorothy's response on to Joan, who, for all her ill will toward Dorothy, could not picture her snorting. Dorothy was about 5 feet and 5 inches, round-faced, with gray hair and green eyes, doll-like even now in her 45th year, and gentle of voice. Well, he could be sure of one thing. The food and the service would be excellent. Dorothy would see to that. It was 10 minutes after 6 when the senator pulled into the parking lot at the high school. His was the only car present. There were at least a dozen early morning runners, but the earliest would not arrive before 6:45, something that pleased the senator. It pleased him to be the first. It pleased him to start his run alone, and it pleased him to see the old red brick buildings of the school as his backdrop. Beyond this, he would have been enormously pleased if the throng of boys and girls who inhabited the school during the winter months could have come pouring in later to tell their parents that they had seen Senator Cromwell in an old sweatshirt, just like anyone else, running the track. That would have connected. He frequently harped on the art of connection with his staff. Connect, make ropes that bind you to the people. In his fantasy, he accepted the fact that he would have to begin his run about 3 hours later in the day. He could easily adapt to that, but since it was summer, no amount of adaptation could fill the empty high school. He ran for 15 minutes, at least 1.5 miles as he calculated, and then breathing hoarsely and sweating, he dried himself as well as he could. A gently warming shower would have been the right thing now, but the school was closed, and the town would not pay a custodian to keep the place open for those who used the track and football field. Actually, he was not much bothered by the film of perspiration that covered his body under the workout suit. The soft cotton lining reminded him of the sweatshirts that were once de rigueur for every kid in athletics, but that was a long time ago, and when he had tried to buy an old-fashioned sweatshirt recently, he could only locate a modern imitation, thin as paper. He climbed into his two-seater and relaxed gratefully. Gillespie be damned, the senator felt good, and relaxing now in his car, he saw the first of the runners drive in, park, and climb out to begin the run, Johnny-come-lately. He was beginning to feel a subtle warmth of horniness again, and he picked up his car phone and called Joan. She answered fuzzily.
"My God, Senator, do you know what time it is?"
She always called him Senator. That had been agreed upon, even when they were alone, so that there could be no slip into overheard intimacy.
6:40.
I watched a damn late show. I didn't fall asleep until 1.
Her voice came alive as she spoke. She had a rich, low voice, one of the things he liked about her. Whoever called, her voice on the phone mollified and soothed.